YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is 2 Point Campus Strategy and Tactics. Today we are going to be doing another deep dive, and this time with the Space Academy. We did Space Night School last time, so we're gonna tackle the Space Academy. Now, the Space Academy is probably one of the more unique class types, and by that there's a couple of different things going for it and against it. It's a tough call as to whether or not I actually like this. So let me elaborate. So the star attraction to the Space Academy is the Space Cadet. The Space Cadet can teleport, and I'll show you how that works. There also has aliens in here, but the lion's share of your students in Space Academy are going to be Space Cadets, and that's a good thing. They are the better of the two. Alien just kind of acts like a normal student, oddly enough. They don't have the teleportation special ability, but they don't have anything negative to them. They're just a normal alien Joe and Jane. Good tuition fees, just like all the other Space Academy ones. Requires a command room, lecture theaters, and battle space. So we need a little bit of the room from Space Night School in order to make this work. Now, this works on a couple of different levels in terms of classroom sizes. If you want to mix it and have it share the battle room space with the Space Night, run this at an 8. An 8 along with a 16 battle night will fully utilize your battle space rooms. However, I think running this class at an 8 is doing it a bit of a disservice. Mainly because you really want to lean into the teleportation pad. And in order for that to work properly, you really need to have a lot of Space Cadets to properly utilize that. So I'm actually advocating to run it by itself at a 32. Now that will give you an almost full utilization. It'll fully utilize a lecture hall, fully utilize a Space Night arena, and almost fully utilize several of the command chambers. One downside to running this class is its homework. Much like some of the others, we have computer lab, science lab, all only for homework, not necessarily needed for the others. So they're going to be real demanding and real annoying in order to do their homework needs. Not to mention the Space Vault is a research needed homework item. So you actually have to go out of your way, research it, and all it's there for is just the homework items for it. You also have to research the teleportation pad, but it's worth it in its own right. So yeah, lots of annoying things, but if you pair this up with classes that naturally need a computer lab, naturally need a science lab, archaeology, which naturally needs both of those things, you're going to be building those things anyway, so you might as well pair them together, oddly enough. It's a weird mixture in terms of tone, but I'll take it. But let me show you both the optimal room build for the command chamber, but also what's the deal with teleportation and how can we utilize it. So starting off with the command center itself, which is the titular classroom needed for this, you're going to want 3 of these command desks, both because they're required for homework, but they give 4% learning boost each. You're going to want 3 of these satellites, giving us a 6% learning boost. There is no 2% item in this mixture, I checked, but you are going to want at least 1 command panel. Even though it just increases attractiveness, it is a required homework item. And then of course the space deck itself, which is upgradable. So we can, once again, we can stack lots of bonuses within this room itself. And this is, by the way, the default size for the room. So you shouldn't need to have it any larger than its default requirements. Here's the real star of the show with this class, and it's this, the teleportation pad. You need to research this before you have it available. Once it becomes available, you will find it in the exterior buildings catalog. Took me a while to find it initially after I unlocked it. It's right here. 10,000 bucks a piece. Maximum of 10 on campus, which is honestly, that's not an overly restrictive number. You can use it with fewer than that. But here's what happens is when one of your space cadets wants to go somewhere and it's faster to teleport, they will just teleport to there. They don't even have to go into a teleportation pad. They will teleport wherever they're standing and arrive at a teleportation pad. So that just sort of governs the arrivals. They don't need to go there to initiate the travel, which is really good. So what I've done here is sort of like a little experiment here. Is this little nook up here is way the heck away from the rest of my campus. And I've got one of the classes here. This dorm room is rated for only Space Academy people. And this lecture hall is listed for only Space Academy lectures. So any Space Academy people needing to get to a specific place, involving here, can just take the teleportation pad. And when they're done here and they want to go interact with their friends or do something else on campus, they take the teleportation pad, or they teleport. And I've got teleportation pads elsewhere in the campus, like down here, over here. The only restriction is that they have to be outside. But as I can show right here, you can always do a little internal courtyard to get around the whole indoor penalty thing. Now, the one downside here is you might say, well, Pinstar, couldn't you just like seal this whole building off? You could normally, with one exception. Remember how I said those alien students are part of that class? Yeah, aliens can't teleport. So the few aliens that are part of this class are going to have to hoof it. It's an unfortunate blemish on the class in terms of strategic use, because then you're always going to have some students that are going to be falling behind because of how much travel time they have to do if you choose to arrange your students this way. But yeah, going at a 32 for this one. Let's see if we can get some teleportations in for students that need to register at their thing here. There we go. So yeah, that's the trait right there. Beam up. Wherever Lola was, they decided they needed to go to their dorm room. And now we're getting more and more people teleporting in here, moving into dormitories. So yeah, they spawned in at the edge and they're like, why walk? Why walk? Why don't we just teleport? Now, I think we had enough people come in at the edge of the campus here and on the edge of the campus here that it was just close enough for them to walk. But as these people, and these are the aliens that we're talking about, notice how they don't have any random traits, good or bad, which is fine, but again, they can't use those teleportation pads, unfortunately. Now watch these guys. When class ends, this is the other good time for them. They are all beaming themselves up. As soon as class ends, rather than leave the classroom, they're just beaming themselves out of there and going to a nearer teleporter. So smart teleportation use can do wonders for your students getting from point A to point B. So yeah, I really love the teleportation feature. I wish there was some way to, well, one, give it to the alien students part of this class, or B, give it to other students as a, some special object, even if it was like some premium thing, or maybe like a club. That would be a fantastic club. But nonetheless, it's still a great way to go. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. So until next time, it's been Pinstar signing out. See ya!